be an interesting time tonight. The Obama and Romney campaigns working really, really hard to get their candidates ready, and the candidates. I thought the biggest tell for me of all of this, other than Chris Christie, I think trying to sabotage Mitt Romney, everybody trying to drive down expectations and whatnot, was Michelle Obama. Yesterday, I believe it was, and somebody asked her, what do you think? How's your husband going to do? And she said, or what was your advice to him? And she said, just be yourself. People love you. Just be yourself. And I would say that's my advice to him. But I'm curious what Ben LaBolt's advice and thoughts are on this. He's the National Campaign Press Secretary for Obama 2012. BarackObama.com, of course, their website. So let's ask him. Ben, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Thanks.
The Romney campaign said that there were three critical moments in this race in which Governor Romney's numbers would move. The first was the announcement of their VP candidate. The numbers didn't move. The second was the convention in Tampa. His numbers didn't move. And so now I think they're hoping for a Reagan-like breakaway performance at the debate tonight. We see this as a larger platform for the president to lay out the economic choice in this election between building the economy from the middle class out and the top down, just like we saw the convention. But apparently Romney has been preparing a bunch of zingers, and we'll be prepared for that tonight. Just by standing next to the President of the United States, 5 out of the last 6 challengers who faced an incumbent president were perceived as winning the first debate. So we have to be prepared for that scenario.
Right. There's a certain stature, gravitas, that is attached to you if you're standing next to the President of the United States. Is somebody who's debating an incumbent candidate. Did you guys, are you familiar with this study that a week or so ago came out of the Ohio State University about how post-debate coverage influences people's perception of what happened in the debate?
We know it certainly does have an impact, and there will be Insta polls and these sort of instant scorecards. But we'll dive deeper into the numbers, because you remember right after the president's convention speech this year, a number of the pundits said that they didn't think that it was impactful or reached the right people. But we knew then that what Americans across the country were tuning in for, particularly undecided Americans, were to hear the details of the president's plan to restore economic security for the middle class, to create 1 million manufacturing jobs, to reduce our dependence on foreign oil. And that's what he laid out, and some pundits gave it a C the night of the speech. But then a week later we found out in the polling that it had an impact, that it reached the American people. And so that's our ultimate goal tonight, is folks sitting at home on the couch, tuning in for the first time, and the president will speak directly to them.
Do you have any statistics or information on what percentage of Americans for whom this will be their first real, genuine analysis of the two candidates?
We'll see. The first debate, the last time around, the last general election, had about 60 million viewers.
Right.
We'll see if viewing habits have changed. During the primaries and the convention, a lot more people were getting their news online, maybe taking in the debate later on. So we may not know immediately the entire impact of this, but polls out there have undecided voters between 5 and 12 points, depending on the state you're in. And we're confident that there are Americans out there that we can still reach.
Yeah, well, 5 to 12% is pretty substantial, particularly in races that are typically decided by a couple of percentage points or less. In the case of 2000, Al Gore got 500,000 more votes than George W. Bush, but let's not relitigate that. Where do you expect? Well, actually, tell me about the next two debates. What do we know about the next two debates? How they're going to be organized? Where they're going to be?
Well, the vice presidential debate will be next. It'll be next Thursday in Eastern Kentucky. That's the only debate between the vice president and between Congressman Ryan. And, Congressman Ryan just came out of a chamber that does nothing but debate day and night. It seems like, with these Republicans in charge. Mitt Romney called him the intellectual leader of the Republican Party, and we're expecting that he'll bring a strong performance to that. There's one more domestic policy debate between the president and Governor Romney in Long Island, and the final debate on the 22nd will focus on foreign policy.
Yeah, and these are all going to be very, very interesting topics, and interesting to see how it's going to play out. Any final thought? Oh, I know what I wanted to mention to you. I got a notice today from MoveOn.org that they're going to be fact-checking Mitt Romney's statements tonight live on the web. I signed up for that. Is there anything similar to that you're going to be running off BarackObama.com?
Absolutely. Check out our Truth Team website and our Truth Team Twitter feed. We will be fact-checking Mitt Romney in real time tonight, so the next time he tries to blame the president for the closure of an auto plant that closed during the Bush administration or repeats the same lies about welfare reform, we'll get you the facts.
Right. So how do I get into that? How do I find that?
It's just at Truth Team.
At Truth Team. That's the Twitter feed. So this is just pure Twitter.
That's right. We'll be on the website, on the Twitter feed, on our email lists, and on the air. We'll be surrounding you guys.
Follow Truth Team, in other words, on Twitter.
That's right.
Okay. Sounds good. Ben, any final notes you want to share with our listeners or our viewers or both?
I guess we'll just have to watch out for Mitt Romney's zingers tonight, and make sure we get the response.
Actually, a quick question. Yep. Last night, Sean Hannity was just breathlessly breaking this. Did you know that Barack Obama talked to a group of African Americans and said something nice about Jeremiah Wright and all this kind of stuff, and brought on Tucker Carlson to break the story that Tucker Carlson had broken on MSNBC back 5 years ago? Your thoughts on this?
I mean, this was a transparent and desperate attempt to change the subject from Mitt Romney's comments writing off half of the population. Everybody covered this event in 2007. The president, then senator, was in the midst of a presidential campaign. It was open to the press, extensively covered at the time. And if you look at that speech, it was about the loss of hope in inner-city communities where there wasn't a lot of job opportunity. And even Mitt Romney criticized the response to Katrina. So this was simply a transparent attempt to change the subject on that part.
And you may not say it, but I will. I think it was also a shout-out to the white racist vote. If they could get another 1%, if they could just cut these slices. But anyhow, Ben LaBolt, BarackObama.com is the website. Good luck, Ben.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for being with us.